85% of people prefer text over email and phone calls because they want to engage in a conversation. All text messaging is not equal. Customers respond to people, not bots. Be more like people and start having conversations that end in conversions. Use Scipio.
Yesterday, we had some friends over, and our kids are really well behaved. You know, we have 3 kids, and every once in a while, stars will align. Your kids are all being like mostly pretty good, and then somebody who doesn't have kids is like, wow, man, you guys make it look so easy.
Amazing.
You know? And it's like, yeah, you know, it's
like this every day.
It's like this every day, you know. And then today, 2 of the people who were there last night, they went hiking and then like stopped by, and when they came in, it was like a complete and total meltdown from all of my kids all simultaneously. And one of my kids, Archie, freaking bit me so hard. I thought he was going to draw freaking blood on my neck like a vampire.
On purpose? He
Well,
just
he's
like went for it, or he was like
he was
kind of flailing and teeth connected.
He was sad because he knew he had to go to bed, and he was kind of burying his head in my shoulder and kind of like
teeth out. Yep.
And then it like really started to bite. And then I yelled at him, and then he got even more sad. And anyway, that's parenthood.
Biting.
Biting, man.
Is that common?
I haven't really been. I mean, people talk about like a kid biting their finger or something like that, but I've never been really bit by that before. But my kids are good, normally good otherwise, I would say.
What a nightmare.
What a nightmare. Did you have a good weekend, Andre?
I did have a good weekend. We bought a tiny little denim jacket that we've been putting on the cats. I wish I had it near me.
You said we bought a zoo. That would have been a lot more
exciting. We bought a zoo. So the denim jacket has been pretty exciting. That was basically my weekend. I've been really busy. I just started a new job, so it's like that's kind of absorbing my whole thought and mind.
Do you think if we went to the bank and we asked for $100,000 that we could make a successful, bombastic clothing line for cats and dogs that was like basically marketed the same way H&M is marketed, like super high, it's like super awesome and chic, and like tons of Instagram ads? Do you think we could make it work?
I think that we could market a line of cat and dog clothes. Well, I think I could market anything. So I guess yes. What I would really be challenged by is sourcing and managing that. Like, I just don't even know the first thing about dog and cat clothing, really.
You'd figure that out in R&D, though.
Yeah, exactly. But for $100K, I don't know.
You think you might need $500K?
Yeah, I might need a little bit more than $100K. I don't also like such an uninteresting market for me, to be honest.
Really?
Yeah, I don't.
High fashion, high cat fashion.
I enjoyed dressing my cat up for like a laugh, but I'm not actually interested in cat or dog clothing, and I kind of think it's a little evil. So
it's evil,
exactly,
as you put your cat in a jean jacket.
Well, I mean, for fun though, not for like, hey, this is your new life, is living in this denim jacket. But
you will be in this denim jacket every day. Okay, well, I guess we'll start a podcast.
Let's do a podcast.
You're a thief and a liar.
I only lied about being a thief.
Steal.
Lie.
We're gonna steal a ship.
Commandant, Lord Lieutenant.
An idea that is fully formed, fully understood, that sticks.
Well, someone like you to steal.
Ideas are bulletproof.
I'm gonna steal the Declaration of Independence. Steal this idea.
Hello again, thieves.
We're back. I was looking during the theme song at sourcing from Alibaba cat and dog clothing. One, remarkably cheap. I think if you actually are interested, you think you have funny designs, or you think you have an interesting take on this market, clearly, as far as actual clothing design, your options are pretty limited. I mean, basically, they're all just bags for animals. But if you think you have a funny or cool or interesting design or set of designs, you can start this pretty easily.
What if you owned like a boutique already? Like, I know a lot of people who have like a little online boutique or whatever. They're pushing clothes.
You should
already.
consider adding a line of pet clothes.
Yeah, a little sister company.
Yeah, like this is pretty manageable.
Yeah. Well, hello. Welcome, everyone, to the Steel City podcast. I'm Scott Knudsen. With me, as always,
Andre Washington.
Andre Washington. That's right. We are the hosts of the fantastic podcast where every week we give you, it's kind of every other week right now.
Yeah, which is my fault, Thieves. Like I said, I
Which
just
is,
started
you know-
a new job. I'm like going through a transitory period.
You know,
But-
I don't know. Every other week, you know, maybe it's not the worst thing.
No, maybe it's not, but I really want to give Thieves the content that they deserve.
Maybe it's like, you know how they have like a summer schedule, summer
Yeah,
hours?
maybe we're on summer hours.
There's summer hours. It's every
Yeah.
other week. But normally, every week we give you $1 million business ideas for you to steal. In fact, today I took a vendor call, and I put my podcast on my LinkedIn. Most people, it's like if they're trying to sell me something, it's not uncommon for them to bring it up. And I get so much crap at work because I'll be at this vendor call. Everyone can see me and hear me, and they're like,
Podcast.
"Oh, like so." I'm like, "Oh yeah, it's this great podcast I have," and they're all like, "Oh, you're so
podcast.
stupid." Anyway, well, Thieves, got a good episode for you. I got a good workshop that I think we can finish line and get it to a full flashed
Love
idea.
it.
I've just got a problem that we're going to solve. And I want to give a quick shout out up top, actually. This is probably more of a mailbag thing, but it's relevant, which is that little nifty device that Brock tagged us in.
Oh, yeah. Let's talk about that. Do I remember what it's called?
So, Thieves who remember, I mean, it's got to be 30 or 40 episodes ago at this point. We were given a good idea, bad idea, which was essentially a kind of a little piece of notepad of paper that slotted into a little wood device.
Essentially like a little to-do list that slots into this walnut base. It looks nice. I don't remember. I have no clue what it retailed for, but we kind of bagged on it.
Yeah, we did kind of bag on it, but our friend Brock, I don't know if we found it.
No,
or
he heard
sent
it on
to
the
us,
I
whatever.
remember him actually messaging me. He heard it on the podcast. And he's like, I think it looks really nice, and I think it's a really good idea, and I bought one. And he only just barely or recently got it, and he says he loves it. So maybe proof that we can be wrong, that our opinions
rare.
are our own.
He kind of pointed out three things. He said writing it down physically makes a difference for him. Having it sit in front of him, because it's kind of propped up. It's not like down flat. It's like propped up. Makes a difference. And they said not having it on my computer or phone makes a difference for me, which I think are interesting points. And those ring true. Anyway, shout out to Brock for proving us wrong that sometimes things that we think are dumb aren't actually that dumb. Speaking of dumb things, it's time for a little good idea, bad idea. I'm on fire with
I
those
love it.
transitions.
I
You
really
know
love
am.
it.
Tell the thieves what good idea, bad idea.
This is Good Idea, Bad Idea, the section of the show where Scott and I go through our Instagram, our Facebook, our everything feeds, and bring back all the interesting ads that we find, and we answer one central question. The question is this a good idea or a bad idea?
That's right. I got a couple here for you. I want to start off because I don't know if we've already talked about this or we just talked about something like this. So the website is modpools.com. I got this ad on Instagram. And if you scroll down a little bit, you'll kind of see these are modular pools that seem to be made out of shipping containers. So the idea is that you could put the shipping container and you could kind of buy one or two or three. You can kind of make it bigger or smaller based on the size of the shipping container you want. And then you could basically build a pool around, like a pool area around it, or just have it elevated like an above ground pool. And I presume, so the advantages are like you could move it, right? It's relocatable, whereas most pools are pretty much a fixed thing. And yeah, it's like kind of modern, but yeah, I just thought it was kind of interesting. What do you think
I
about
think
this?
we should ask ourselves, are shipping containers truly the perfect size for everything? Because it seems interesting, like shipping containers have obviously grown in the market as like tiny houses, right? You see restaurants being built in shipping containers, like everything, and personal offices that you drop in your backyard that are shipping containers. Is everything just happens to be roughly the size of a shipping container? Just kind of a little nugget to think on. As for pools in particular, maybe pools are should be perfectly the size of a shipping container. All of the images are super classy. They look really great. It says,
Did you have you gone to the 3D builder here? Go hit request a quote. It'll take you into this like 3D like CAD file that you can like move around and like adjust
to get a sense of your
the width.
I don't know how much a pool costs.
You want
So this is saying that the 20-inch mod pool, or 20-foot, definitely not 20-inch, 20-foot mod pool is 36,000. Wait, am I reading this right? 36,500.
Yeah.
And then an additional 10,000 to make it wider, which I think that sounds about right to me.
And there's a couple different like ledge options that where you want the steps to come into or whatever. If you want like a separator with jets.
And the help center says they arrive fully built. So it says that the installation is much easier. Basically, like you just drop them in the ground, which sounds pretty awesome. I kind of think you should get a mod pool.
It does sound pretty awesome. I kind of think so too, honestly. So what I've found,
you can put a little divider in,
is that
get like a spa portion and a pool portion. Like that's awesome.
Yeah. So what I have found is that the cost of a pool is extremely relative to where you live, which is not too surprising. My neighbor, not my neighbor, he's like 4 blocks away. He's a friend of mine. He's actually a diehard listener of the podcast, James English. Doesn't get enough love. He looked into getting a pool, got some money, and was like, I'll get a pool. And it was like $50,000 or something like that. It was like,
but in service of that, like,
I was annoyed.
Then the mod pool isn't much cheaper than the custom pool that James would get, right?
Right. Yeah. But if you were to get a pool in Vegas or Arizona, it's like $10,000.
They have pool companies everywhere. Yeah, it's just a different pool environment.
There's pools aplenty. So yeah, one thing also that this reminds me of, my wife, she mentioned there's this new kind of trend, and I can't remember the name of it. It escapes me now, but basically people are putting these like dipping pools that are like really small. It's almost like the size of a hot tub, but it's a pool. And sometimes they're in like feed, like cow feed type containers, like big, huge metal drums or whatever.
It works.
And it's just like, and it's like you go in, you like kind of can go, you can sit down in it, cool off, stick your feet in, and like, it's like you get a similar sensation of hanging out in the pool, but it's not huge, it's just a little thing.
I think the like a new trend, takeaway, so this is a good idea. The pools are very attractive. Go to modpools.com, use the 3D builder. If you want a pool, this is definitely something that you should look into. Clearly a good idea. I think the takeaway for thieves is, like I said, putting things in shipping containers is very hot right now. So think, what in the world could you fit into a shipping container, and then start selling that.
Fans of the show will remember an episode of ours called Gym Drop, where I positioned to put a full gym inside of a shipping container that you could move around outside.
And then drop it in parking lots and sell gym memberships. A really awesome idea.
Sell gym memberships, which I still stand by as a good idea. Sorry, what do you got?
So click my first one. This is the subsafe.com. I had not heard of this, but then I watched a video earlier today where Shaq, V-Shack, tested this product, and it did not work. Just to get that out front, look up the video on YouTube, search Shaq SubSafe. The SubSafe is essentially a safe for your sub, as in your submarine sandwich. You put your sub inside of this little kind of cup-looking device, and it says, "Are you tired of a soggy sandwich?"
It looks like it looks kind of like a
exactly like a thermos.
Is what it looks
tired of soggy sandwiches? SubSafe is the ultimate sandwich container that keeps your sub sandwich safe, never soggy. SubSafe is blah blah blah, BPA free, and
It's meant to like you take it on boats, you take it anywhere there's water, you chuck it in your cooler, and that way your sandwich doesn't get soggy. This seems so
I don't really feel
unnecessary
this
to me.
problem. I generally
No,
I go to Subway, they wrap up my sandwich. It doesn't. I haven't really felt the pain here, but this is a highly popular item. This has been featured on Shark Tank. This is completely sold out right now. You actually cannot buy one. And I don't know. I guess people like this idea.
What about the wine safe? Would you say the wine
Which,
safe?
as I don't really
also
drink
helpful?
wine, but this idea is also stupid to me. Wine is generally, I mean, it's in a bottle for a reason. It transports pretty safely
Yeah.
out of the box.
So weird.
Yeah,
What a
I don't know. These people
weird
are clearly onto something
thing
though.
to
It
be-
is sold out. It has a ton of press around it. Shaq tried it.
Well, and also, like, how often are you eating a sub sandwich as
don't
opposed to
know.
just like a regular sandwich?
I don't know. Look, maybe sub lovers out there are
Weird.
saying that this is the answer to their prayers.
Look, this is your
Yeah,
company,
I know.
Andre, and I hate it.
And I would
okay?
say, so I should clarify. When Shaq tested this on the YouTube video, he was treating the idea more as a kind of literal sub safe, which is to say that this will keep your sub safe from harm and damage. This is really more of a Tupperware container that is specifically for a sub. He threw it on the ground and it broke open. This will not protect your sub, but I guess it would function as a Tupperware
this
container.
is basically
for a sub.
it's really
Yeah.
just a waterproof Tupperware that's in the shape.
That being
of
said,
a sub
if I
sandwich.
were to see this at Target for like $5,
No.
it's like, okay, I have a container for many things.
If I had a boat and I went boating all the time to the point where I was having picnics on my boat once a week, sure. I guess.
All right, fine. Fine. I was trying to redeem the product just a little bit, but I guess you won't let me. That is Subsafe. Subsafe.com.
I will not. This one here is also going to be pretty quick. This reminds me of that product we talked about. So this is Yohann.com, YOHANN. Yohann is a laptop and or like tablet stand, and it is just this nice wood. I don't even know how to describe it. It's really minimal, and like it kind of curves up where you kind of slot it in, and there's kind of this ergonomic something about it. It's
really just Thieves, you may or may not have seen a laptop stand. These are essentially, you put them on your desk and it elevates your MacBook like 4 inches off and then puts it at an angle so that you can use your MacBook as kind of a desktop computer or a second monitor for your work. And this is probably the most handsomely crafted one you can imagine. It's like this all kind of wooden design. It's all curves and edges. It looks great. And it retails for $179, which is more than like the aluminum type by a lot. I would say that the aluminum type generally goes for like $30 to $40. I can say this because I just bought one like not even a week ago and kind of just picked. Exactly.
Yeah, they're usually like $50.
So this is definitely expensive, but it is a very, very handsome desktop device. I can't say don't buy one. If you kind of have a really nice home office and you don't want to disrupt your flow, then this is good looking.
Or if you are somebody who has people in their home office, you're like
like if you see clients or something like that.
Laptop stands kind of look not great. They look okay, but a lot of them look kind of...
It's a handsome laptop stand. These can find it by going to yohann.com, YOHANN.com. They also have an iPad stand. They have an iPad stand with an Apple Pencil holder. They make a lot of good, attractive Apple products. It's just kind of one of those like premium electronic brands, which we've talked about a lot on the podcast, and there are a lot of these growing. Yeah.
We'll see
My last video is not to bag on your idea. Your idea was very interesting, but mine is like actually out of this world.
This is. I just
Yeah.
clicked it, and
I am a little bit
drawn in.
confused. I'm
What
hoping
is
that
this?
together we can kind of figure out what this is and how it works. So this is Frantic Fanfic, fanfic.com. And it's a game, essentially, and it says how to play. Frantic Fanfic is a round-robin style story game that is like Exquisite Corpse, but for fan fiction. Exquisite Corpse being a game that artists might play where it's like you draw a face and then you pass it and the next person adds the eyes and then you pass it and the next person adds the nose, kind of like a build on art roundtable game. And this says quick start guide: 1, write some characters; 2, shuffle-o-matic; 3, pick 2 characters to write about; 4, write the beginning starring those characters; then swap, then title it. Does this this is like kind of interesting to me. It says you're going to need at least 3 friends. Do you understand this idea? Does this idea interest you at all?
It's definitely interesting. The thing that sucks about it is you can't.
There needs to be.
This is kind of what it's like.
Thieves, you should check out the website. It's a very interesting website. They've gone for kind of a fun 90s game theme. But the idea is actually really hard to explain. But at the same time, it intrigues, does it not?
Yeah. I wish there was more stuff like this. This like community, like it's just like, hey, come here and do this thing with a group of friends, and it's interesting and fun, and like it's like, oh, this thing, yeah. I wish this, like this seems there's a little bit of complexity to it, which is like, man, like I almost wish there was like a really, really simple version. It's like, hey, play this really quick, where you're like almost choosing pre-selected stuff.
Yeah.
And then when you're ready, you move on to the next thing. Whereas like it kind of starts on like, this is advanced. But yeah, I imagine it's kind of this like you can kind of pull together and start writing a story together.
So I've just like gone through the process of creating a game.
Pick a character.
Yeah, and so what I was thinking is Scott and I have a group of friends that we all kind of chat. And I was thinking I might send this out and kind of just like see if anybody bites and like takes a turn in it. What's annoying is the game speed component. So your options are 10 minutes, 5 minutes, 3 minutes, 1 minute. I think that there's no reason that this can't be just like completely asynchronous, which is to say it's like it just shuffles to the next person to start writing the next part, and you don't even need to be at your computer. They write when they get to it.
They just write. Yeah, it would be that would be an interesting idea where you basically it's like, hey, it's like like a really slow hot potato where it's like, hey, you got it today, so like chuck in a couple things, you just kind of like chip away at it while you're working or whatever, and then when you're like, yeah, this is good, either you send it or just automatically sends every 6 hours or something like that. I would like a version of that, even though I get it's like, hey, you want this?
It's an interesting idea
or whatever. Frantic Fanfic.
Yeah,
I should send it to some of my writer
personality
friends
that would be interested
about it.
Cool.
Yeah. Okay, Andre, that's gonna do it. All right, so I have this idea, and I think I have the right lane for it, but maybe I don't, and maybe it could be something bigger, or maybe it's crap. And this is, I want to run this by you and see.
Great.
If you can help me get it to where it needs to go. So this is the basic idea. All of us have, not all of us, many of us have car payments. And car payments are this interesting thing where they are from car to car, from person to person, from credit to credit. It's a pretty wide range. And additionally, it's rare that your car payment is like so. It's not like a mortgage. Like usually you're trying to get it relatively low, and if it's expensive, it's because you're wealthy generally, right? There's a range there where it's like, I can't really spend more than this, right? And because it's usually a longer term loan, it like takes a while, right? Like the purpose, just like anything, it's like, oh, you paid off over time, you pay a bunch of interest, right? So this is my thought. What if a company gave out car loans Okay. And they essentially baked into the car loan, they baked in something to the effect of, we're going to give you a very low rate, but it's not going to feel as low because part of what you're paying into is like stock into the company or like an investment into the company. So like you would have this company and you'd say, hey, we give car loans at 1%. But it's longer, it's a longer commitment or whatever. And what we're saying is like, it's, if a regular car loan is 5% or whatever, they come in some percentage lower, but
Sure.
Let's say it's 2% for the sake of this. Standard rate's 5%, they're coming in at 2%. 1% goes to pay off the car, and the other percent goes to the company as an investment arm. So you're like investing in the company. So the company is like getting like people to buy into their company, which like drives them earnings and gives them capital and whatever. And because they have all this other capital from money they've raised, it's like, I don't know. I don't know if this is even possible, but this idea of like, I have to pay a car payment every month, right? And if you tacked on $50 of that, whether that's going to interest to just like go to a bank, or it's going to something that's like a little bit more creative, where like I'm taking that $50 and I'm investing it in something that has a different yield mechanic, where I might put it in a higher risk stock and take that risk with your money instead of just like taking flat money interest. And because I have worked out how much I tend to make, we're able to offer you a lower loan, which means we're getting more dollars in compared to a bank or something.
You're not in left field.
Am I just in left field?
I really
here?
don't think you are. And I've had a couple of ideas that have sprung up. What's tough is like, I'm not great at financial instruments like loans and such. And I'm also actually not interested in this, like in the additional 1% invests you in the company, because I would never be so passionate about the car company so as to want 1% in it.
Well, you wouldn't do it because you care about the company. You would say, I want a 2% rate.
But what I think would be
it's actually
cooler
a 1% rate,
or better
but 1%
is the rate's 2.5%, and 1% goes towards your monthly payment. I'm trying to figure out how this would work. So that's your rate. How do I want to do this? I don't know how I want to do this, but what would be cool? So your monthly payment, and again, like there are people that are smarter than me that are thinking about this and they're already kind of ahead of me, but your payment is $400 a month, let's say. And let's say that $100 of that, so $300 of that is your car. You're paying towards your principal and interest on your car loan. And then $100 of that is like automatically invested in a hedge fund. And then they say, what's really cool about us is every single day, we take your gains on this hedge fund and apply it towards your principal. Because what I do know is everybody's like, you want to apply as much as you can as often as possible towards the principal so that less interest accrues over time. So wouldn't it be cool if they're like, your payment's this, we take $100, we have this like index of great hedge funds that we invest your money in every single month. You're going to grow this balance in this hedge fund. We take, and they're happy because they typically, I think, can make like a commission or something like that on these hedge fund investments. Right. And maybe like somehow, it helps them from a like balance sheet perspective to say we have all this capital that like we've kind of already taken from our, it's like they're holding it kind of like they already have access to it. They could pull it and potentially pay off your balance, whatever. We have all this capital that we invest, and then we take your gains and we apply it towards your principal. And then as a reason to go with us, even though the rate is higher or what have you, it's like at the end of your 5-6 year car loan, you have this like fat, hedge fund account that you've been investing in for a bunch of years. Yeah. And your gains from that account have been already trimmed off, and they've gone to pay off towards this depreciating
Right.
asset, basically. Like that would be kind of cool. It actually is kind of a good idea.
Yeah.
Again, I think you'd
That's
have
a
to
good
be
idea.
like pretty smart
Yeah.
about how, like, again, the financial instrument of a car loan would work and what's possible. But if I were to sit down, and evaluate my different loan options, it would be pretty cool to be like, yeah, my car payment, goes towards my car, and it also goes towards this other investment arm that automatically draws and pays my principal as often as possible. The alternative, of course, being like,
And
Mhm.
and they are in that world where they can say
Yeah.
like, oh, we have access to this particular type of hedge fund, or no,
Mm-hmm.
our average return is 12% or whatever.
Yeah, I think
they're willing
the
to
most
take
powerful
risk
concept
with
is,
this new
one, that
capital,
obviously it's
whatever.
well managed and they have a great fund that they can work with, or even, it's like Acorns, or Acorns, when you invest, you can choose different like risk tolerance profiles. So they
Right,
can give
yeah.
you access to some of that stuff, which would be nice. So like, yeah, I'm comfortable with a higher risk, and therefore, like, maybe I'm getting less, exactly. Or it goes wrong, right? And I don't
Pay
make
it
much
off,
money at all.
baby.
What I want to compete
Extreme
with,
risk,
though,
put it in
is,
Bitcoin.
and a lot of people don't do this, but they might say that they would do this in the moment of making a purchase, is like, well, why don't I just pay $300 on my car, and then I'll just invest the $100 myself, or put it in my 401k or what have you. So I think what you can hedge against that, again, is like the power of it being integrated with your car loan. So it's like it just goes right to your principal. You don't have to like take out, put here,
Right.
do this, do that. It's just like all automated and clean. That's like cooler to me.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Because
the reality
because
is
the
you
reality
won't.
is
You'll just
you
say
won't.
like, oh, I
Like,
won't use this
well,
lender
you
because I'm
could,
going to theorize that I
you
might do
won't.
that. You wouldn't do that.
Like Acorns exists as a company because they say, yeah, you could round up every dollar and then
You won't.
put it in your
It's
name,
just not a
but
reality.
you won't. Like
I like the
you
idea
just
a
won't,
lot, though.
you know?
Like, I think that would be so awesome to pay a little higher a bit of a card payment and to have this investment arm that helps me pay off my principal faster. And I'm sure you could like model it all out and say, by investing this $100 in our fund, you're paying, the average person pays X more dollars of their principal every month, which saves you X number of dollars on interest. Yeah.
Yeah, on your interest. Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's definitely a lot of work to figure out that whole back end, and you'd probably have to go raise money to do it.
Yeah.
But I mean, it would be sweet.
It is.
That
What do
would
you
be a
mean? It is an
cool-
out of the box solution.
It's definitely not like an.
Who has ever
out-of-the-box
thought of
solution,
that?
But
Yeah.
so I mean,
it's not. It's out of the box.
Sorry, what I
like
mean
the
by that is
mental
it's not
box
like
that we
a-
put ourselves in. But yeah, it's not like, oh, I'll just
yeah,
create a
it's not like
Shopify
hey,
account real
open up
quick
a
and set
storefront,
this
start
up.
selling shoes.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's not like that. It's like, oh, I actually have to come up with like an algorithm that weights risk and then, and then also based on these investment triggers, and then moves money. And because probably what you end up doing is for every dollar that comes in, you've already invested different money in, but this is just a way you true it up at the end of
Exactly. You're
not actually shaving off $100 and doing a transaction.
really interesting though. You could figure it out.
Yeah, but you can figure that out. I think a smart person. I think a smart person could spend the time like, oh, actually, this isn't complicated at all.
That's a good idea.
Couple lines
I really like this idea. I don't have an idea.
Yeah, there's probably a good name for that as well.
We are on a roll here. So like I said, just started a new job. What happens when you start a new job is you like reevaluate your whole relationship with work and productivity. You're thinking, how can I avoid falling into old habits? How can I be like the best, most productive version of myself? Exactly. What Scott is doing right now is he's calling back to an episode a very long time ago, wherein I came to the podcast and I talked about exactly this, which is every time I get a new job or buy a new backpack, what's different now is I'm working from home, so I have less use for a backpack than ever. And I came up with an idea that was like a modular backpack design where you could clip on a charger component and a laptop component. I have no clue what that
I
episode
want
is
the
called.
water. I want the thermos
tell thieves to go
pocket.
listen
No,
to it.
I want this spot.
Last Pack.
It's called.
Good job.
It's
Last
called.
Backpack You'll Never Need. So go look up Last Pack. That is another idea that we've talked about.
Last backpack you'll ever
Probably
need.
when I changed jobs, whenever that was. So what I've been thinking about a lot recently, though, is like phone distraction. I very frequently can get myself into like the flow state and be very productive, and then I get a news notification or a text or just something that's completely irrelevant. So what I'd been looking at, and it sounds actually crazy and actually ridiculous, but it's like, and I've been getting ads for this on TikTok primarily, but it's like these phone safe concepts, which is where you literally lock your phone into a box and say, yeah, I'm not going to use this. The one that I just linked in the chat is on Amazon, and what I like about it is it has a clear front, so you can see if you were to get a notification, but you couldn't interact with it during the times. So, for example, though, you could accept a phone call if your mom calls and you know you need to answer or something like that. You could also say, no, I don't need that, and flip your phone upside down, which is cool to me. You could completely opt out. You're able to charge your phone while it's in the phone safe, which I think is cool. It's got a little indicator to set how long. Am I crazy for kind of being interested in this? And I know I'm kind of bringing a good idea, bad idea to the workshop portion. But really I'm saying, one, is there a better way to do the phone safe? And then two, is there a better way, like overall, just to manage distractions and how kind of destructive your phone can be to getting work done?
Yeah.
Are you at all persuaded by having a phone safe? Let's start there.
So we've talked.
I like being distracted.
No, I'm not. No, like I would be more inclined to get one of those like simple phones before I got this. What this calls back to, which we've talked about kind of at length, is what I think there ought to be is some sort of watchdog service where basically when I get home, I basically push a button and I don't know if it's a person or an AI or something that basically says like, all right, Scott is in no distract mode.
Yeah, we did talk about an idea like this once.
If a trigger word or a certain person, if they are trying to reach me, like then that notifies this service, and then that service pushes to me, and it's like, hey, you should like a certain it puts your phone on silent, but like that supersedes the silence, and it's like, oh, someone's calling me, and like you could set basically certain profiles where it's like, oh, like I accept this but not this, and or whatever. But it would have to be, I don't know. It's tough because like you'd almost want it to work like a smart home where you like walk in your house and it just like
that would be cool.
I
think like AI could probably get you pretty close because we talked about this in the past, and that was the complication. Is like I don't really trust an AI.
Yeah, maybe
to triage my notifications for my phone calls and things like that. I will say, and I think, good.
Yeah. Because I get like, every once in a while I'll get a Slack from my boss at like 7 p.m. and I'll be like, hey, can you like tomorrow? It's just like, and usually Slack's post work are not important, but like I need to know if it's from him, or my wife will text me something really particular. It's just like hard to make a rule for everything. So if only there was like a person, I could be like, hey, if anything comes from Greg or Joy or my mom or like these things, or if any of this stuff is happening, like you let me know then, and like buzz my wrist, like to have somebody not like, oh, so like what if it's this? What if it's like they have access, like a high level access to your phone, but they can only see entry points, like they can't see the text, but they can see who's texting, and they can't, couldn't listen to a call, but they can see who's calling, and they couldn't read an email, but they could see who it's from, something like that. some sort of front end interface where it's like, oh, this is, and that, and yeah,
It's,
AI could do that.
I
It's
think,
like,
and
you can
I'm
set certain
pretty sure I
parameters or
mentioned this in the
whatever.
podcast, but an app that I use on my
It's
phone
tough
now is
though, man.
RoboKiller, which deals with like spam and robot calls. And for the majority of calls that are spam, it just like automatically silences them, and I don't even know that they came through. But then for calls that it's not sure if it's a spam caller or not, it screens it. So like RoboKiller picks up and is like, "Hi, who are you? And what is the purpose of your call?" And then, yeah, though I think it sounds better than that. I don't know. I've never called myself to find out, but
Hello, who are you?
and then it screens them, and then if it's like the doctor or a bill or something like that, it comes through because they answer. And then most spam callers just hang up at that point. And I really loved RoboKiller is the long and short of it.
I know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I
I've
know
heard that.
Yeah, I know Google.
What do you
Pixel
want?
ones do
Yeah,
something
exactly.
like that, where it's like.
And
you
I really
answer
like
with
that.
Google, it's
And
like, "Hi, what
spam
do
calls
you-"
were like a huge,
Can I
huge
pass it along?
distraction
Yeah.
for months and months and months for
I
me.
just
And
thought
this
of-
has basically eliminated that. Okay.
I've come up with a solution. Inspiration has dawned on me, and this is more in line with what you brought, which is like a
Prepared to
phone
be
log.
inspired.
Okay.
I cannot see you, but I can hear you. I'll just picture you.
Can you still see me? That's weird. Okay. Picture
I
this.
really want to hear the idea.
Okay. What's happening right now? Okay. Okay. So
Okay.
there is something that looks like like a wireless charging pad. You know, like the air chargers that never came out or whatever. Imagine that. Imagine you set your phone on this device, and by doing so, you accumulate points. So it is a game that says the longer you can keep your phone here and build these streaks, you're accumulating points, you're earning points against your peers, your other friends, and there are certain competitions. There are certain windows of, it's like during your workday, obviously it's like, nothing, right? Or maybe you really want to focus, and so like this certain power hour where it's like points are worth 2x or whatever. And I don't know if you, there's a couple ways you do it. But basically, you could have prizes that are basically like nice coupons that companies pay for, where it's like, hey, if you do this, you can get a shake or whatever. If you just not be on your phone and like hit these streaks, you unlock these coupons that are like whatever BOGOs. Or you could do it almost like a weight management type thing where you like front some money, or like maybe some of your peers, like your parents or spouse or whatever, friends, all chuck in $50. And when you reach certain threshold, you like unlock funds or something, or you do it yourself, right? I like the idea of sponsored things where it's like, yeah, if you can basically be in the moment and not be on your phone and like let it, earn, phone bucks or whatever.
Of course.
Then yeah, you like, and of course you could game it. Like you could just like walk around with this thing, but it would.
This
have
is
to
a
be
really
plugged
good
into an
idea.
outlet, which means you would have to buy that.
This is
outlet.
truly a really, really good idea. I love this idea.
I think that could work.
Top to bottom. First of all, I think
Right?
it can be a wireless charger, right? Just like because that's helpful in its own right. And I think I like the
Sure,
idea
yeah,
that
yeah.
you're just earning points competing with friends. I think you could gamify it, so it's like, I don't know, you're running, like the points show you like running around a mile or something like that, or just like to quantify how you're doing. Sure.
Or it's like a distance. Yeah, it's a distance travel.
Like kind of a fun little game element so that you really have
Voyager climbing
an
up a mountain or
incentive
something.
to
You can see how
just
far-
earn
oh,
points
man,
and
that
like
person-
see how high you can go and how fast you can go and how like long you can streak for. I love the idea of like a power hour component where you can set like an hour of the day that you're going to be like focused on or that you want to focus in and get double points, triple points. That would be awesome. Like I think we all want that. Obviously, sponsorship would be like the holy grail, right? Which is like you put your phone and you get awesome stuff for putting your phone down. But I think there's like a lot of pre-holy grail stuff, like games and distance traveled, and like your plant grows, your pet
Totally
flourishes, whatever.
Yeah. Well, and yeah, like it's easy to unlock badges or whatever, but I think an avatar.
Yeah, I don't need
I'm a
another
big proponent
badge. I that's not
avatar
motivating to me.
Unlocks where it's like, hey, you make a little guy, and no, but like you have a store full of cool cosmetics, and yeah, like that person is they're running or they're whatever, and if you hit these checkpoints, you unlock the pirate hat, or you unlock $50 phone bucks, distract bucks or whatever. And you could buy the eye patch, you could buy the pink pants, you could buy the the trail that makes you almost like Rocket League, where you have like different trails or whatever. Like I just think it would be pretty. You could probably find an existing
and now the point mechanic
game
is
or
this
thing
external
that you could
device,
just like,
this
oh,
wireless
we'll just
charger.
take this and then apply it to
What a good idea. I would love if there, for whatever reason, this is what I pictured when you said it originally, but if
This
it had
is
like
a really
just like
stealable
nice
idea.
LEDs around the outside. It's like when you put it down, it was green. When you picked it up, it goes red. I don't know, some sort of visual indicator, like I'm earning points, I'm not earning points, or this is a good thing to do, or this is a bad thing to do. And that allows you to like triage all you want. Like you can see if it's your mom calling, you can see if it's something you can ignore. But at the end of the day, to be like, do I need to pick my phone up? No, I don't. And I'm going to keep earning points. And it's like, I think probably you set it down and you're earning like 1 point per second or something like that. And the longer it sits down, the more points you earn per second, right? So you're earning, if you set it down for 30 minutes, then you're earning 3 points per second. And now it's like, oh, if I pick it up, if I make that call, if I check Instagram, if I check that text, then I lose my streak, I lose my point accelerator, right? And you don't want to do that. And then before you know it, your power hour is locked in, right? You've had like
and then
that
back to zero, like,
hour distraction free that you want. Yeah.
Now you're zooming, baby. You're cruising. I mean, when you think about people finishing out rings, it's so stupid, right?
Yeah.
But the psychology there is like, well, so and so finished their ring. I need to finish.
And
my
maybe
ring.
I know LEDs are like so overdone.
And yeah, I love your idea of a red light.
I don't feel passionately about that, but maybe you could turn it off.
Also, well, I think there's a subtle way. There's a subtle way. I also think like a really positive jingle that's like ding 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 ding. It goes on. It's like this like pleasant sound, and then you take it off. It's like meh. Like it's like this little subtle audio cue.
And every time you put it on, you get a little.
Meh. Every time you take it off, you just feel like a dunce. Ding. Yeah. Anyway. That's probably one of the more stealable ideas that like there's a little bit hardware component. You'd have to kind of source it out, but like really it's an app that you have to develop. And it's a wireless charger with like one other component that like sends. It's basically, and it's really actually just a wireless charger.
Yeah.
And the app is saying anytime they're wirelessly charging, this is what happens. And then you can write other logical code or whatever that says if it's these whatever situations, then these things happen or whatever. So it's definitely an app.
Again. To wrap up the show, I can see you, which is nice. This is a good idea.
That's what I would do, Andre.
Love it. That was like a true moment of inspiration. That's awesome.
I don't even know what happened there. Yeah. Well, Thebes, tell us what you think of those last two ideas. I feel like I'm failing because normally I'm kind of a name guy.
Well, write in.
I feel like
idea at ghostillthisidea.com.
We don't have a name for either of these things.
Let us know what you think we should name these ideas. Sure.
So maybe like MotoVest, like invest MotoVest. I mean, okay, not great. All right. Or for this,
I don't hate that.
About, I was gonna say distract coin, but that's dumb too.
Phone. Info wars.
Phone-
Oh, that's already used.
Phone wars, infamous.
Oh, phone down. Right.
I mean,
right
even,
in the name. Phone down.
Even something like phone down, it's like, oh, phone down. Whew. Yeah. So anyway, if you have better name, thieves, let us know. If you want to reach us, idea@ghostlistening.com. We would love to hear your ideas. I know that some of our recent listeners have been meaning to write that idea, that email.
Write a
they
quick
haven't
email.
done it.
Only
So
takes a
this
sec.
is a nice jab to, you know what? Open up Gmail. Idea@ghostlistening. We want to hear it. You can also find us on Instagram. Go Steal This Idea, or I think it's just Steal This Idea podcast.
At Underwatch Zero and
Instagram
at Scott the
or
Amazing on Twitter.
Let us know. Engage at Andre Wash Zero.
Yeah, you are on Twitter right now. You are tweeting. Love
That's
it.
right. I've been like getting back into Twitter. I go on and off. I'm like on right now. I am tweeting. So yeah, if you like some hot takes,
I don't tweet much
give us
though.
a follow. I got to turn the bell on for Andre because I don't.
It's a big problem.
I don't give him the validation when he does tweet. I get in trouble because I don't see it. I know. Thieves, we appreciate all of you who continue to listen on and support the show, even though we sometimes miss some weeks. That means a lot to us. Share the show with your friends. It's the best thing you can do is send this into your group family chat. In fact, we'll up the ante. Andre will give $2 for a screenshot of anyone in the work chat. I will give $2 for anybody who sends it in your family group text that says, "Hey, everybody, here's a podcast that I think is really cool. You should all check out." And then ideally, if you have a response from your mom's like, "What is this?"
Steal This Idea. It's the only podcast where every week we give out free $1 million business ideas. You can type that back to her. There's your answer. That's what this is.
Boom, 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 boom.
Bye.
That's right. All right, that's going to do it. Andre, Thieves, we love you. We appreciate you. And we will catch you in the next one. Use Scipio, the #1 engagement tool for sales teams that want more responses, appointments, and conversations. Message your leads and customers where they are on their phone. I'm not talking about phone calls. We're talking about true one-to-one texting. Use the code STEAL at Scipio.com for 2 free licenses. Use the code STEAL at Scipio.com for 2 free licenses. See you later, thieves.